Mr. Fry for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for having this very important and vital hearing today. Thank you to our witnesses for your candid and accurate testimony. Public safety is critically important to me, especially as a representative of a coastal district in South Carolina. For us, storms like hurricanes are not if, but when. And when disaster strikes, communication is not just important, it's life-saving. In August, I had the privilege of visiting the Marion County Sheriff's Office in my district to learn firsthand about the role that programs like FirstNet play in supporting our first responders. And what I saw was encouraging, but I think it underscores how critically reliable communications are so important when disaster hits. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to our first responders. It doesn't matter to our first responders who is providing them with the service, but if the service is being provided. Emergencies can happen in an instant, and it's our duty in Congress to make sure that those who are on the ground have the necessary tools they need to do their jobs effectively, securely, and without delay. Sheriff, let's start with you. As you know, FirstNet was established by Congress to give our first responders a dedicated nationwide broadband network, and AT&T currently operates under that authority. At the same time, providers like Verizon and T-Mobile are doing their own thing, offering public safety services. So from your experience on the ground, how do you see these different offerings working together in practice? And what steps should Congress consider to ensure that the focus stays on the reliability and interoperability for our first responders?
So to your question, we are an agency that is an example of exactly what you're asking. Our county is so vast, we can't just rely just on FirstNet because of cell tower coverage in other places. So our computers automatically do a strength test, essentially, that's constantly happening while a sheriff's deputy drives around, and whichever service provider is the strongest signal, that's the one the computer automatically goes with. So they are working together in those aspects. I think what we're talking about is really reliability when we need it, and we're talking about the amount of traffic during an emergency that may go over one of those systems, where FirstNet is exclusive to public safety, and that's certainly why we'd like to see the build-out continue.
Thank you for that. You've also highlighted both the successes and challenges with FirstNet's rollout, including the reinvestment of funds into new infrastructure, but also the risks from outages, vandalism, and cyber attacks. Looking ahead, what steps should Congress prioritize to ensure reliability and resiliency in these networks, particularly as FirstNet Authority approaches its 2027 sunset date?
Certainly start looking at particularly FirstNet towers and those that are specific to public safety as critical infrastructure. So in other words, their security aspects, maybe even the way they're designed and building. We've had a lot of talk this morning about copper getting cut, for instance. Fiber is no different, and actually in some cases I think it's harder to repair fiber, at least that's been our experience. So physical security and then cyber security are our #1 priorities, and if we can use the federal government's help to do that, I think we're in the right place.
Thank you for that. We frequently discuss AI and its potential impact on this committee. Emergency communications are no different. AI will change the game. Dr. Fontes, you also note that Next Generation 911 will allow Americans to send texts, images, videos, and other forms of data directly to call centers, data that could be enhanced or triaged through AI tools. How do you see AI shaping the effectiveness of Next Generation 911 in practice, and what safeguards should Congress consider to ensure that this technology strengthens rather than complicates the emergency response system?
Thank you for your question. And AI is beginning to enter into the 911 space. In a Next Generation 911 environment, when data are allowed to come into 911 centers, videos, et cetera, the use of AI, as I would envision it, would allow us to either have supporting tools that may hear or see something that the human ear or eye cannot see or hear. And so, therefore, it may provide more correct situational issues, enabling the field responders to know what they're going into when they respond to that emergency. I think there's also a variety of opportunities dealing with language translations, transcripts, record maintenance in the backroom aspects of next generation or 911 systems at large. But you need that next generation 911 system to have that data flow into the 911 centers. So that is one of the fundamental aspects I believe is critical to the use of advanced technologies like AI in serving the best possible 911 service to the public.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman. I see my time has expired, and I yield back.
Thank you.